Okay, so first thing I want to show you is how to load in your own sound fonts. So we've got the sound font player. This is something that's covered in the basic tutorials, but I'll go through it. I hope we can clear a few things up. So I'm going to be using my screen now. First of all, so I've loaded Eigen. I'm using 1.1.23. You can see here's in the middle, here's what you get when you load up. I've loaded the default Pico 1 setup. Okay, what I need to do first is open the Eigen browser. So I go to Tools menu up the top here, and from the Tools menu I choose Eigen browser. I'll zoom in a little bit. Okay, so run Eigen browser. Okay, this is the screen. This is the Eigen browser. We use the Eigen browser whenever we're basically choosing a new sound, or choosing a new drum loop, or choosing a scale, all these kind of things. When it involves choosing from a list of things, we use the Eigen browser. Okay, so the Eigen browser is open. The Eigen browser is open. Next thing I need to do is go back to the Pico. So we're going to try and choose a new sound font for instrument 1. So that's this one here. At the moment, it's this pad sound. I want to replace that. We ship the Eigenharp with a number of sound fonts that come with it. Okay, so this is so I'm going to teach you how to load in a new sound font. You're going to need to see the Pico quite closely. Okay, so I'm going to hold down the mode key. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. But so all my lights light up. I'm going to choose course 1, key 4. So course 1, I mean, when I'm looking at the keyboard, it's the one on my left. And the fourth one down. Actually, we should do the quick reference guide, shouldn't we? This will help. So, first page, contents. So what I'm doing is holding down the mode key and choosing the key marked Instrument Effects Control. So I'm going for the advanced controls for the instruments. From here, this is where we would choose the new sound, or edit all the sounds that were loaded into the Pico. Okay, so mode key, course 1, number 4, labelled Instrument Effects Control on the Pico, on the contents page of the reference guide. Okay, so this is where we can change all the sounds. So the next thing we need to do is specify which sound we want to edit. I said that I'm going to do Sound Font Player 1. So this is when you hold down the mode key, it's the top one. So we're on this Instrument Effects Control page. We need to hit this sub mode key. So it's the only key, well, it's the top left key that's not lit. I don't know if they can see this. Shall I come right up close? Here we go.
Careful your cables. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to hit the top left key, this one here. And now, course 2, the lights change. You can see one of them's lit green. What we're doing here is choosing which instrument we want to edit. We want to edit instrument 1, which is the top one. So I choose key 1, and it will light green. Hopefully you can see that. So we choose the instruments like this. Top one is what I want, sampler 1. That's lit green. Once it's lit green, I can let go. And now we're in the cables. Okay, now we're in a mode where we can choose a new sound font. So the important key we're looking at is on course 2. If we go to page okay, sampler 1 control, page 9 of your quick reference guide. The one we're looking at is the key that's labelled sampler 1 sample browse. Now, no matter which instrument we're editing, it's always the key to browse, to choose your instrument using the Eigen browser is always in the same place. It's always the third key down on course 2. Okay, so I hit that key, the one labelled sampler 1 sample browse. Okay, and now if we go back to my Eigen browser screen, can we go back to the Eigen browser screen?
Sorry, yeah.
Cool. There we go. Okay, we can see that the list of my available sound fonts has come up on the left. So some of these ship with Eigen, some of them don't. Now to choose a sound, at the moment we've got this pad sound, synth pad selected. I'm going to go for, got this Indian vocal. So actually no, I'll do one that comes with it. So CS80 pad 1, for example. Press that using the mouse, and then press it. That gets us inside this kind of subcategory. Click again on CS80 pad 1. Okay, and then we go back to the instrument. I hold down the mode key, choose instrument number 1. It's quite a similar sound. Let's try another one. For example, okay, I've got this organ sound. As you know, I'll go for the whirly, tubed whirly. Again. Okay, so this is all quite basic stuff that you can find out in the tutorials. There are if you didn't already know, we ship a load of SoundFonts with the instrument on the stick that comes with it. But you can also download some more from our website, which is www.eigenlabs.com. Aaron will put this in the chat. And then it's /downloads/SoundFonts. And there's quite a number of extra SoundFonts there, including the tube Wurlitzer. There's the Rhodes that comes on the stick, but there's also a Wurlitzer, and there's 2 more pianos. So the piano that we use normally is great, but there's 2 more versions of that recorded slightly different. So they're different microphone perspectives. One of them recorded really close up to the piano, and one of them recorded quite a long way away for like an ambient kind of sound. But it's worth checking them out. Okay, the next bit's the audio units I want to talk about. So it's the same process again for choosing a new audio unit. We hold down the mode key. We go to the instrument and effects control section. So if you remember, that's course 1, number 4. That should light green. Let go. We're back where we were in the instrument effects control section, but I've still got instrument 1 selected, the sampler 1, which I was doing before. So I need to hold down. Come back over here. I need to hold down the sub mode key, this one. The keys on course 2 will light up. And next I choose, because I'm doing audio unit 1 now, I want to load in a new audio unit plugin. I choose number 4, instrument 4, which is audio unit 1. That should light green. Then I let go. Okay, now we've got audio unit 1 selected. So it's the same place to browse for audio units as it was to browse for SoundFonts. So we've got audio unit 1 selected. I can still hit key number 3 on course 2, same place, and you'll see on my Eigen browser that instead of a list of SoundFonts, I now have a list of all the audio units plugins that I have available to me. So here's the list. It's organised by manufacturer, so these are the people that make, the software companies that make the plugins. You've probably all used Camel Audio's Alchemy, which is the one we ship a light version of. With the instrument, so I'm going to choose that for now as we've all got it. So I'm using the mouse again, I click on Camel Audio, and then I click on Alchemy. Okay, here we go. So Alchemy's come up on my screen. You may all recognise this. So what I want to do now is talk about how to connect up the controllers. I mean, this is what I wanted to get to as quickly as possible. Talk about how to connect up the controllers to the various parameters inside Alchemy. So I'll quickly load a preset I've made. Let's use this one. Okay, so I've got this sound in Alchemy. To play it, I hold down the mode key and choose audio unit 1, which is number 4 on course 2. Okay, so I've got this sound. Now on Alchemy, we have these 8 performance controls. Now these are really useful because every preset has some pre-assigned controls that you can use to that do like interesting things to the sound. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'll just play with some of them quickly. So I've got, first one I've got is called flute volume. So you can hear when I turn it up and down, I'm basically adding flute to the mix. What else have I got? Number 8 is doing a kind of a pitch thing. Number 7 is kind of make it more percussive. If I go this way, it does this kind of a this sustained granular thing. number 5 and 6, they're like reverb and delay mix, so I can turn the reverb and delay right off, put them back up again. And then I've got a frogs mix, I'm not sure what that is. Okay, so with these 8 performance controls. So the next stage is to connect up, for example, the breath controller to one of these performance controls, so we can control this using our breath. So I want to, the flute volume is quite a good one. So I'm going to try connecting the flute volume up to my breath controller. First thing to do is to click on Configure in the top left of the Alchemy screen. Okay, so we have this kind of grid layout now. Okay, so we can see along the top of this page we've got labels strip controller 1, breath controller, key pressure, key roll, key yaw, and absolute strip. So I'm going to go through what each of them mean. But they obviously refer to the different controllers that we have on the Pico. And then along the left we have control 1, control 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, XY pad 2, attack sustain. And these all relate to the actual parameters inside Alchemy. So we've got, first of all, control 1 through to 8. These correspond to control 1 through to 8 on the front of Alchemy. So they're the ones I was just playing with. And then we've got XY pad 1X, XY pad Y. So then that corresponds to this XY pad here, just here. And then we've got XY pad 2, which refers to this XY pad. And then we've got attack, decay, sustain. Okay, hopefully, yeah. All right, so it's as simple as, okay, so I quite like this flute volume on number 1. So if I play a note, you can hear that I turn this up and down and I can change the volume of the flute. So I'd quite like to connect that up to the breath controller. So that's control number 1. We can see that it's labeled flute volume number 1. Along the top we've got strip controller, breath controller, key pressure, roll, yaw. So I'm going to connect breath controller to control 1. It's as simple as clicking in the box where the breath controller column meets control 1's row. So I press there and it says green and it says number 1 in the box. Maybe if you take off the thing. Okay, so I've connected that up. Now I can do this. So you can hear that when I blow, the flute's being added. Hopefully you can see in the corner that as I blow, the control number 1's going up and down depending on how hard I blow into the controller. So what I want to do. So okay, so flute number 1, you can see that when I'm not blowing, it's at 0. Let me zoom in on that. So I'm not blowing at the moment, and flute number 1, control number 1, flute volume is at 0. I can actually move that up, so I've put it at full now using the mouse, and now it's always on. But because this breath controller is two-way, I can breathe in and I can turn the flute volume down. So wherever you set the control with the mouse, that's its kind of rest value. And it will move around that then with the controller. Hopefully that makes sense. So I've got it full now. When I play, I'm not touching the breath controller. You can hear the flute clearly, but now if I breathe in, it's kind of taking the flute down. I can set it halfway, like so. And now you can hear that there's a little bit of flute there. If I blow, there's more flute, and if I breathe in, the flute goes away completely.